We're recording. So good morning, you guys. Good to see all your smiling faces. Thank you for being here on this beautiful, beautiful Monday morning. My cup runneth over. I always feel like when you go and see live music, for me, it's super, super therapeutic. It is literally a reset. It's a recharge. I definitely find so much excitement and obviously peace by going and just seeing live music. So that for me, you guys, has been my Graceland for many, many years. And so let's do this. Before we pop things off today, I want to have somebody bring us out on the field, bring us out of the tunnel, and bring us out on this beautiful, beautiful Monday morning. So I'm actually going to go to Adrian. Adrian, so I don't know if you know how this goes. Imagine your team is in the tunnel. We're about to go out on the field on game day. We're about to go and crush it. So you're going to bring your team out on the field on this beautiful, beautiful day. So Adrian, I'm going to turn it over to you. Hype us up, bring us out on the field on this beautiful Monday.
Oh my gosh, I don't know what to say. All right, okay, guys, it's Monday morning. It's May. We're almost, summer's coming up. People want to move. There's no inventory. Rates are going up. We got to get these buyers in a house before next school year. Let's get on the phones. Let's do an hour of power, guys. Let's blast the music and dial for dollars.
I like that.
Guys, let's do it.
I like that. Awesome. So thanks for being here, you guys. So like I said, if you have the ability to take a couple notes today, cool. But also you guys can come back to the recording later on. So I read this and I wanted to share it with you guys this morning. Every next level of your life will demand a different version of yourself. And it's important to realize this. And we realize this about our business, and no matter how big that we've gotten, it's important that we realize what got us here is not going to get us there. The same strategies, techniques, and things that we did to grow from 0 agents to 20 agents to 20 agents to 100 agents and so on and so forth, every stage requires a different version of ourselves. Now, the standards are always going to still be the same. The principles are still going to be the same, but the strategy and the way that we grow is going to change because we grow as people and we have to adjust to where the times are. So what got you here won't necessarily get you there. So be open-minded enough to know when you need to make a shift and when you need to make a change. So I always try to find correlations when I go and see music, when I go to events, because I think it's super, super important. So last night, whether or not you know his music or not, the dude is named Russ. I don't know how to really categorize the music. I think it would be like, I guess more on the hip hop side, but there's some soul to it and there's some R&B to it. I don't know. It's just incredible music. Nonetheless, Russ started a record company when he was 17 years old with a buddy. And here it was a really, really powerful, powerful moment. So he's singing a song, and the song that he wrote was a vision that he had about what he wanted to contribute to the world, what kind of music he wanted to play, what he wanted to, the crowd to react to. And like, he was sharing his deepest and darkest thoughts on paper. And then years and years later, he's like, now I'm hearing you guys sing the songs that I wrote a long, long time ago before any of this existed, before there was a crowd, before there was a following. And like, how powerful is that? At 17 years old, he started his label, and now he's touring all over the world and singing this beautiful, beautiful music to us. So I just thought that it was really, really cool. He owns all his own music. He doesn't have to sell his rights or his royalties to anybody. Like, he owns it, and he's putting other people on and 100% independent. And I just thought it was a really, really powerful moment. You could tell he was emotional. He's like looking out the crowd. I'll tell you what, the crowd was absolutely incredible last night. And he's just like, man, I had this vision for myself and I wrote it out. And now I'm looking out in the crowd and all these people looking at me, saying the words that I wrote in intimate moments in a notebook. I just thought it was a really, really, really powerful, powerful moment. And when I look back at some of the things that we've done here, it's like a lot of this was a dream, you guys. A lot of what we've created was a dream. And now I look on the screen, I look at the offices, I look in Oakland when there's, hundreds of people in the office for these events. I'm like, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. So I just thought I'd share it with you. I always try to find the correlation with the events and music and things that I go to and how it affects or how it relates to us. So before we get started, Nicole, you had your hand up. Did you want to share something really quick?
Yeah, I was just asking, is that the best on earth guy? The guy who has that song with the Be a Girl with the long?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it was an incredible concert. So highly recommend. Went with Mel and her husband and my lady, and it was just a really good experience. So just thought I'd share it with you. So a couple things, you guys. How many people, and give me a show of hands or a reaction below. How many people spend a lot of time thinking? Please raise your hand if you're a thinker. You think a lot, or give me a reaction below. Some of us are overthinkers, right? Some of us just think. And it's okay. Look at how many people are on the screen. This happens to tons of us, and it is okay, right? So what I want you guys to do, and I want you to practice this, whether it is Sunday night, whether it is Monday morning, whether it's Saturday afternoon, whenever you guys do this, because I did this exercise and I found it to be super helpful to get all of this out, right? Just out. Hence why this is called a massive brain dump. And I think that you guys should be doing this once a week because it's important to get all of these things out, right? So first things first, make yourself a giant box. Above it, put massive brain dump. And I'll just show you how this looks. Massive brain dump. And as you can see, I have tons of stuff on my mind, right? So you just start to write and you start putting all these things out. And I'll put some, I'll be vulnerable for a second, you guys. I'll put massive brain dump. Growing the coaching department, saving $100,000, reaching 1,000 agents in my rev share, family trip, let's see, expressing gratitude, date days, date nights. Let's see, what are these? Einstein time, genius time, admin time, in-person group coaching, like all these things that I put down on this. Your guys are going to be completely different. But then on the right side of your massive brain dump, I want you guys to put some focus action items, right? What are the things that I really want to focus on? And I want to give myself some time in my calendar to truly focus. Because how many of us really run crazy sometimes? Like we are just appointment, kids, great. Oh my God, got a food, got all this. We run crazy. You guys, there's times where Kenny's like, do you eat? I'm like, yeah, I got snacks right here, but I'm working. But I found that for me to be my best, for you guys, for my family, I need to make sure that I'm getting everything out of my mind, putting it on paper, then having focus action items that are going to allow me to really hone in on the things that are most important and priority for me. And then thirdly, what are the things that I can delegate right now? What I found was that some of my focus action items were actually things that I could delegate, right? But I hold on to it, right? And so I want you guys to really dump this out. Massive brain dump, that's your big box, right? You'll have all kinds of shit in there. Then your focus action items. What are these like things that I want to really focus on, especially as the sun's coming out, the weather's changing, you have all these opportunities to knock on doors, go to the office, go to events. Like, what are the things that you really want to focus on right now? My focus action items are working with our CE shop, which is an online school that preps people to get their license, new systems for coaching and in-person training. Those are my 3 things. Well, what I realized is the CE shop is something that I can have designed and managed by a VA, and then we just set that up to where it's on an autopilot every single week and host career days. And Melody did this with another school that we had. So point being is you guys need to sit down and just start brain dumping, focus items, focus action items, and then things that you can delegate. And I want to share this with you guys. If you haven't read this book, please read this book. It's a powerful book, The Big Leap. The Big Leap talks a lot about Einstein time and a lot about you taking time to reflect and putting that genius zone on your calendar. Because I promise you, there's quite a few people on this call right now that don't have implementation time, genius zone on their calendar right now. And I want to tell you this, you guys, it's okay to slow down and to really prioritize your schedule, your week, because it does get crazy. So I highly encourage you. Pick a day. Mine is going to be on Monday afternoons. It's going to be a time, not that I'm not going to answer my calls, but I'm just going to leave that open for no appointments, and it's just going to be implementation and genius time. So massive brain dump, focus action items, and I want you guys to delegate. This massive brain dump should be filled. There should be tons and tons of stuff, because I know you guys. I know there's all kinds of things. You guys are big thinkers. You guys are achievers, right? So start writing down these things and get very, very clear with getting all that stuff out. So had a couple questions, and I want anybody to answer it, and I'm going to throw it out there to you guys. And this is going to start hopefully some really, really good engagement. I have 3 questions for you guys right now. And Judith, if you can put the questions as I say them in the chat in case anybody joins a little bit later. So 3 questions. And the reason why I'm asking these questions, Ernesto's tools might be something that you guys don't use, or there's something missing in your business that somebody else is currently doing. But like, wow, cool. Let me connect with Adrienne, because that's something that I'm currently missing in my business. She articulated how well it's working in her business. We should probably meet up for some coffee and talk about growth, right? So 3 questions here, and I want anybody to pop this off this morning. So first question, what tools have been a game changer in your business, right? So really simple question. What tools have been a game changer in your business? That could be your high note, that could be your Real Scout, that could be your HomeBot, that could be whatever. It could be something that maybe none of us have really ever heard of. What choices have you made that made the biggest impact in your business, right? I made the choice to say no to my friends and family. I made a choice to do this. I made a choice to do that, whatever it is. What choice have you made that made the biggest impact in your business? And then third, what systems are currently missing in my business? And I think that this one's going to open up some really, really good dialogue, because there are some things that we could all improve upon. So let me read them back to you one more time. What tools have been a game changer in your business? What choices have you made that made the biggest impact in your business? And lastly, what systems are missing from your business currently? And I think you'll see correlations with other people. So let's go to Adrienne. You had your hand up first, so let's hear from you, or is that an old hand?
Oh, well, I had my hand raised.
Okay. Perfect.
So the tools that I've been using that I really like is Client Giant. It's one of those where you put like all your buyers or whoever you want to put, and it's $100 per year per client. And the company sends out a gift to them every quarter. And it's personalized, and on the mailing label, it doesn't say Client Giant. So it actually looks like it's being mailed out from you. And I get all my past clients, they, send me a text all the time, and it just keeps them top of mind, or keeps me top of mind. And I've gotten referrals from it.
So really quick, Adrienne, what is your annual spend on Client Giant currently?
I think I'm paying about $2,100 a year.
Wow. And then how many leads have you gotten back from that, or referrals, or opportunities to serve other people?
Most of my business is from referrals.
Beautiful. And how long have you had your clients set up on this? Like, when did you implement this in your business?
Last year.
Nice.
Yeah, last year.
Love it.
So I've been on it for about a year.
$100 a year, like that is
per client.
Client Giant is an amazing, amazing tool. All right, good stuff. So what's number 2? Let's hear from you. What choices have you made that made the biggest impact in your business? Is that one of them, or do you have something else?
I like that I joined your team, because I'm getting that virtual assistance. I feel like I'm way too spread out. I'm not keeping up with what needs to be done for my listings. I just feel like I need help. I've hired a virtual assistant in the past from the Philippines. I'm just learning to delegate, basically, and I'm still learning. It's hard for me. So the choice I'm making now is to try to delegate. I'm still, like I said, learning to do that. But it's important for me to do that in order for me to make my goals, which is to double my production this year.
Yeah, I love this. You guys, and was that the system that was missing? Was that like 2 and 3 went together, like that was the system that was missing?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I can't do it all.
I love this. I love this. So you guys, a lot of us are, we get stuck in wanting to control, like, "Oh, I don't know if I can give this to somebody else." I promise you, Judith is on the line. Judith has made my business so much more easier. She has helped streamline things. She has helped organize the back end. She has been a godsend to me. And then Rhea and Jean, they have done so much for our company. I know that a lot of you have worked with them, our VAs, and we're adding more and more and more. And so I love that. So who else wants to chime in on these questions? Go ahead and anybody take their stuff off of mute. I want to hear some engagement from you guys. Ernesto, I know you typed some stuff in here. Who's going to take the mic next? And don't be shy. I'll just probably call on you. All right, cool. I'm going to go over to, let's see. I'm going to go to George. There he is. He put his camera on because he wanted to answer this. I love this. So George, let's hear from you, bro. What tools have been a game changer in your business? What choices have you made that made the biggest impact? And what systems are you missing right now?
Okay. I knew the moment I put my camera on, you were about to call on me. So the biggest thing that I'm using right now in my business, I would definitely say, is Real Scouts. I feel like as my business has been scaling fast in the last few weeks, Real Scouts has really been a big factor. I kept natural language on, so a lot of folks actually think it's personally coming from me. So that's a lot of great feedback I've been getting. And then also something I actually kind of noticed with Real Scouts too that I wanted to share is that I noticed it's missing some listings that go on the MLS. So I've started to use Collaboration Center too from the MLS. That way it kind of gets anything that's missing that Real Scouts is missing. And then Follow Up Boss has actually been big because as my client list has been scaling, I use it to set tasks and reminders, and anyone that I do partner with, I share that contact with them as well. And so we're able to collaborate on what conversations we have so that way each other's not left out. And then let's see, what was the second question?
What choices have you made the biggest impact in your business? And it seems like using the CRM seems like some of those things are probably answers to number 2 as well.
Yeah, no, definitely CRM. And then, so my mentor is Hector. So I do a lot of coaching with him, but aside from doing it with Hector, I also do it with Eric King now. And so Eric is actually really giving me homework and has challenged me. And ever since I started doing coaching with Eric as well, I've seen my business really start to boom to the fact where I'm kind of going into question 3 is now that it's scaling so much faster than I had anticipated. I need to implement really focusing on my time blocking even more, because then things are kind of like coming up, and like Eric says, don't erase, just replace. And so I'm having to kind of go back to the basics and kind of re-implement using my calendar, because I used my day planner beforehand. So kind of choosing one of those 2 systems to really utilize and really hone in on it. So I'm really trying to focus more so on really using my Google Calendar.
Love it. Because here's the thing, man, it's on the go, it's there, and then you're able to really look at your week and just plan everything out, man. There was a time, George, where I didn't plan like I do now. It will be an absolute game changer. And you know what? You're going to get busier. Just who you are, the amount of content, the amount of people that you're talking to, you're going to get tremendously busier over the summer. So if you do that now, it's going to be a better system for you to grow and to scale, right?
Absolutely.
Can the things that I'm doing right now support me scaling my business? And a lot of times the answer is no. And then what happens is you get busy and then you're like, shit, I need to sleep. I need to spend time with my family, right? And so do it now and get that discipline, those practices like together now. And I promise you'll make life so much easier. But appreciate you sharing. Adrian, is that a new hand or an old hand?
Oh, old hand.
Okay. All right, cool. Who wants to go next? And if you don't raise your hand, I'll probably just call on you. So going once, going twice. Dang, what's up, big dog?
Hey guys, good morning. How's everyone doing?
Fantastic.
Good. One of the tools that really has changed and made my business a whole lot better is Mixmax. It's a extension for your Gmail. And basically the cool thing about it is you can integrate videos straight into it. You can create like professional looking emails by creating buttons and call to action buttons. So yeah, the way I send my email has definitely changed. Definitely makes a big difference, because when you're especially competing with a lot of different other agents and stuff like that, when they receive an email from you, it looks professional and awesome. That and yeah, Google Calendars is another huge one. Really changed not just my business but my life. You know, just I think calendaring and time blocking and all that, it's a real skill and it takes time to get good at, because I remember looking at Elias's and Kenny's calendars in the beginning and just getting an instant headache, but now mine looks like that too, and it's really helped me organize my time better. So that's been super awesome.
Love it, love it. And Eric, what is the system that's missing in your business right now?
The system in my business I'm missing right now, man, there's a lot. But I think man, off the top of my head, it caught me kind of off guard. But I think rather than the systems that I'm missing, I think it's more so about getting more efficient and really truly utilizing the systems that I have in place now. And I think the main systems that I'm working on in my business, as your business grows, I think is utilizing the leverage around you, right? There's two forms of leverage, whether it's people or technology, and kind of using both of those in combination to make my life easier and more efficient, I think is what I'm trying to get better at. Because I just hired my first VA, and in case in point, like even with my VA, sometimes I don't have stuff for her to do, right? Which is, it's not true. There's plenty of things I could be having her do, but again, it's just kind of learning how to leverage, you know, and using those systems. That's kind of what I'm trying to figure out.
Love it. You guys check this out. If you don't have Mixmax, let me share this with you really quick. So Mixmax is great because you can put all of your, let me go back there. You guys can put all of your templates in here, whether it is just in contract, whether it's, hey, now I'm in contract or I'm about to close, what do I do? And then you have this little button down here. Here's what's cool about this, you guys. You guys can do any type of call to actions in here. You have a call to action button, but you can implement or implement your videos right here, and you can do great emails with video. And then your call to action, instead of putting some janky old looking you know, URL, you can put let's just go group coaching, just for the sake of this example here, group coaching, and then I can do the link right here. Let's just see, bit.ly/Zoom with Elias.com. And then what you can do is you can change the background on this. Text color could be white, background could be Team Fast colors, boom, cool, insert button. So it's not the right URL, but anyways, you have this cool looking URL that you put into the body of your email. You include a great video. It just makes everything super, super clean. It is a great way to organize it. You could send your text or your emails later at a later time. You guys highly, highly recommend that you invest the, what do you pay, Eric? $9.99 a month? I think that's what I pay, $9.99 a month.
I think it's free for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I paid $9.90. Anyways, whether it's free or $10 a month, it's highly, highly worth you guys installing on your computer. All right, who wants to go next? I want to hear from you guys. This is really, really important stuff that we hear from you guys. Let's go to PK. PK, I haven't seen you in a minute. Nice to see you. Is the house done? It's called Mixmax, Jewel.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Is all the renovations done?
Not really.
Okay. All right.
Still going. So, I mean, I have to say a lot of the platforms and tools that everybody said are helpful for me too. Canva is one that completely changed my marketing game. And I think it's a must, especially getting the premium account, because the free is great, but it doesn't give you all the tools and access you need. So yeah, Canva has changed my life. It's super easy to use. All my open house flyers and community engagement flyers, everything and anything I'm using to promote something, I use Canva and I absolutely love it. I actually recently started using it on some of my reels because they came up with some templates for reels. I mean, it's a game changer in the industry for sure. And I know that Team Fast, we use Canva all the time, which is amazing. I would never want to work for a brokerage that used PowerPoint or any of that like old ancient platforms. So yeah, Canva is for me the one that changed my business entirely. I need a lot of help in every aspect of my business, including hiring a virtual assistant. I haven't really had a lot of luck with that. And changing my CRM right now, that's taking up a lot of my time. And recently hired an editor for our podcast, which we are launching this week. So yeah, I'm trying to automate a lot of the tasks that I was doing before, but it's not easy.
Yeah. So a couple things. So you can either use Rio or Gene if they have the capacity to help you with this project. Sphere Rocket's a great company to go through. You do have to pay an initiation fee of about $4,000, but then they vet the people, they get them all on one screen for you, and you get to do a group interview. And then VA Hub has been a really great resource for us. But we are actually stacking the company with more VAs. So let us know what you need help with, and maybe there's a VA that can just really work on this project for you. But it's good to see you. It's good to have you here. All right, let's continue cruising on. Let's go over to, let's go to Anna. And I'm so glad that you're feeling better. Anna was battling COVID last week, and she's feeling better. So I'm glad that you're here. So Anna, let's hear from you.
Game changer for me is hiring an assistant again. I feel like that's helped me get a lot more organized and then kind of re-engage with my sphere because I dropped the ball on that. And God, what can I, you know, my time, what can I use as opportunity is getting better with my calendar. So I was writing down this whole mix match thing because I feel like lately, or maybe because I've been out all week and I was chasing my time, being sick, but being more productive with my time and remembering that movement doesn't always equal productivity. So, and the reason it's because I've let go of my time management. So that's been a big thing for me. But she's big game changer for me has been hiring the assistant that I just hired last month. And yeah, opportunities, getting back on my time management.
Now, is your assistant a local assistant, or is it a virtual?
She's local.
Okay, very cool. So you said something that I think is really powerful, and you said movement doesn't always equal productivity.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's like being busy, right? A lot of us fall into that.
It doesn't equal achievement. Yeah, you're not achieving. You can be busy, but it's like, what are you being busy with? And am I really achieving the thing? So I think that has been a big thing for me, is becoming more aware of how I'm using my time, because I noticed that I've been able in the past to manage more business and more clients and not feel overwhelmed and feel like things are like, I still have the same time to do everything else that I want. And all of a sudden I find that I'm like, why am I overwhelmed? I've been busier than I am right now. Why am I feeling overwhelmed? But it's because I'm occupying my time with other things that are not equaling to support my business or my production.
And like, and obviously this is a work in progress, but like when that happens and it comes in, like, how do you manage that? Like, shit, like I'm getting pulled in all these different directions. I'm not really being productive. I'm just moving. Like, how do you manage that? How do you identify that? What's the triggers? Like,
for me, I feel like I have to go back to look at my calendar and what am I doing? It's like to become like, stop and be mindful. It's almost like the opposite, right? Instead of continue to move, I have to actually stop and look at what am I doing and where am I spending my time? And now that I have someone to help me, it's almost like getting out of that mindset that I have to do everything. And now it's like, oh, she can take care of that. I don't necessarily have to do that. So sometimes I find myself sending her like crazy emails, like at different times, like you need to do this, or you need to look into this, you know, when you're here, I want you to focus on this, just because I feel like it kind of like you're, you know, paper dumping. I'm like email dumping and delegating, because if not, I have to get readjusted to that. I'm not just me, I have someone to support me now. And so I have to make use of that.
I absolutely love it, Anna. And you know, you'll find as you start working closer with that person, you'll have an idea of like, okay, let me just send it to her in Slack. And then all of a sudden, she's just like, oh, it's done. I was like, wait, it's been 20 minutes. It's done. She's like, yeah, it's done. What else? Like, so it's so powerful to be able to delegate those things. And you'll watch yourself get more and more effective and more productive. So I appreciate you sharing. Ernesto, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I was going to ask Anna a couple questions. That's okay. One, you already answered if she's virtual or in person. Sounds like she's in person.
Yeah.
I'm curious, like, what kind of things you have her doing that's been a game changer for you.
Well, right now is my database. So I have a huge database, and a lot of my business comes from referrals, family, friends, people that I've done business with. That's where basically 90% of my business comes from. So my focus right now is all clearing out my database, re-engaging with my database, making sure that I'm updating, making sure that I'm on top of mind for, anniversaries, birthdays, baby showers. We're doing, I looked into Client Giant. Elias told me about that, to kind of like reconnect with people that I have like dropped the ball on for a long time. And so that's our biggest focus right now, and client events, because I do have extended relationships with these people. So client events have always been very successful for me, even though I've only hosted one once a year, which is a pie party. And I always have about 100 people come. So for me, it's like, I want to, implement a summer event, and, move my pie party to maybe a fall event, and then have an end of a year event. So it's restructuring that right now. That's our focus.
Love it. Love it. Eric had a question for you, it looks like, too.
Yeah. So the client appreciation party, I threw my first one in December with some success. I mean, I invited like 50 people, only 12 showed up. But out of that 12, one of my past clients brought their friend, and I was able to get their friend in a contract. We just closed, right? So yeah, I spent like $4 or $5 grand, but I got a transaction out of it. So it works, right?
Yeah.
I'm throwing my second event, my spring client appreciation party, that's coming up in May. But I don't want the same thing to happen. You just mentioned that 100 people came out to your pie event. Like, what are you using to engage your folks? Are you calling them? Are you texting them? Like, how do you get them to come out?
So I'm friends with a lot of my clients on Facebook. So I actually send out a nice formal invitation to everyone's home. And I actually invited I think my first event, I invited 200 people, and I had 70 show. And I do a formal invitation because I wanted it to be something nice, like an appreciation to them. So I do have an invitation made. I mail it to them. I invite them on social media. And then I also had my assistant at that time, the very first time, was make calls out to them. And then after that, I always just did invitation. And in the invitation, they could text me, they could email me to RSVP, or and then Facebook invite. That was where I got my biggest response.
Love that. And you guys, there's agents in the office that are doing they're doing co-events, right? I think Viv and Kev are doing a co-event. So you guys might want to partner up on an event as well. Here's the deal with the company. If you guys are going to throw a company or a client appreciation event inside of the office, we'll contribute, but it's always based off of your split, right? If you're at a 90-10 split, then we'll contribute 10% to the cause. If you're at a 50-50, so on and so forth. So we will contribute because we want to help you guys grow. So Anna, I love that. One other question for you in regards to the assistant. How did you find that person? How did you vet that person?
So this person actually was a client of mine, and I knew her from the past. She was actually the assistant to the regional director of where I used to work.
Nice.
And then she became a client of mine, and then she wanted to get into real estate, and then the conversation started a couple of years ago, and I had an assistant at the time, and then we just made it official this year.
Love this. Love it. Absolutely love it. I'm going to go over to Sam. Sam, your name has came up so many times in this last week. Here's a couple of things that have came up: hustle, tenacious, skill, like willingness to just get in the ring and like take some knocks on the chin. I know you've been going on a couple listing appointments with Eric, and so good stuff coming from everyone about your spirit and the things that you're creating in this environment. And plus, you're still brand new. I love this. So Sam, I'm going to ask you those same questions. What tools have been a game changer in your business? What choices have you made that made the biggest impact? And what systems are currently missing in your business right now? So Sam, let's hear from you.
Thank you for the support.
And then the tools that have been working is number one is Real Scout and setting up an appointment and doing the consultation. I mean, if it counts as a tools, right?
Totally.
So buyer's consultation, listing appointment, those are the things been working really well. So that way I can follow up with them easily.
So Sam, let's stay here for a second because you've had quite a few listing appointments in just the last couple of weeks, or let's say at least the last month. How is that conversation coming up when you're speaking with your buyer clients about, do they have a home to sell? Like, how are you having that dialogue with consumers?
So at first, when I was brand new, I didn't have much confidence in myself. That's why I didn't know how to take it to the next conversation. Like I didn't know how to flow it. But then now with all this coaching session, events and everything gave me a confidence of knowledge. So that way I was able to take control of how to like connect with them, how to talk to them, what to ask or when. That was really important. And then once I had the confidence that like it made me feel easier to talk to them. And then also it's vice versa. It was just easy to talk. And then I was able to bring out the important questions and then get the answer out of them. And then how to go on from there and make my plan.
So it's not only knowing, and she said something really, really powerful here. It's not only knowing what to say, but it's saying when to say it, like the timing of her dialogue. I love this, Sam. And so what's one thing that's missing in your business right now? A system that's missing in your business right now that will help you grow eventually?
Consistency, I've been working on for the past few weeks, but I'm getting better for sure. So that's number one thing.
Love it. Love it. Well, I appreciate you chiming in and hearing nothing but great things about you. Let's go over to Ilona. Ilona, how about for you? Same questions. What tools have been a game changer in your business? What choices have you made that made the biggest impact in your business? And what systems are missing in your business?
Morning.
Morning.
So I found, like everyone else, learning the insides and outsides of Real Scout and Follow Up Boss, which is, I'm new, so I'm still really figuring out how Follow Up Boss works. My plan this week is to really dial it in. I have all my people in there, but I need to start using the task manager, which I hear everybody else talking about, and I know it's available. I just need to kind of learn how to use it because I'm on Up City and my leads show up there and I'm like, oh, here they are. But how do I manage to put them in the right place so that I know that they're coming up in the morning or what to do with them in the morning? Something else that's really been working for me is leaning on my fellow teammates or my sponsor, not being afraid to not just ask for help, but ask for partnerships. Something that I learned kind of rough this weekend was don't do open houses by yourself. Like that's just not a good idea because I kind of got that update when I already scheduled the open house and Cynthia was like, meh, she gave me some tips on how to do it by myself. And those tips actually came in really handy. Using your teammates and not just asking for help, but like asking for partnerships. It's at this time being new, it's better to have a little bit of something than a whole lot of nothing. So even splitting it with someone else or having someone else to lean on makes me feel more confident. And I think utilizing the team as much as possible, really utilizing my mentor. I call him a little more than maybe he wants me to, but he's been a really, really great help. So just, trying to access all the tools that you guys have provided for me and not being afraid to not just ask for help, but ask for partnerships. Like I also bring something to the table. So it's not that I just need help, but being, realizing the strength in a partnership in utilizing your team has really worked for me.
You guys, when you look back, let's just say over this last year, Peter was brand new to the team. Peter is now a mentor. He's one of our top producers. He came onto the scene and instantly partnered with Dewey, right? When you think about like V and Norman, V and Will, and you see all these like new partnerships that are forming, it was like Ben and Kelly. And then you see all these like these partnership deals coming up like Linnell and Gabrielle, and I could go on and go on and go on. And it's about leverage, being able to bring two different styles to the table, to be able to share, to contribute at the same time, to, to better serve the consumer. But also be able to have somebody that is a line of support the whole entire journey for you. So Ilona, like this is an environment that was built on true partnership. So be excited about the possibility. I know you'll make a little bit less, but you'll learn so much from that other person and how they conduct business. So Ilona, I absolutely love that. Otis, you had your hand up, brother.
Man, that was like, whew, I said, man, I got to raise my hand after that one. Good job. That was perfect. That hyped me up to get on the mic. So I just have to give her due on that one. List reports for me. Shout out to my boy, Jim. He gave me a jewel the week before about that program. It's really dope. It's just like Canva, but I would say like 1,000 times on steroids. It compresses all the data. So like, for instance, like if Ilona had that open house, that would have been great for her because it takes all the information, it gives you all the star ratings, schools and everything, and it compresses it into your report and you can use it. And there's a pro one and there's a regular one that you can use for free. So if nobody wants to pay, you can just use the pro one. Super good for marketing campaigns and everything like that. Has 1,000 tools. I'm still fairly new to get into it, but just fucking around with it, it's just like, man, it's really dope. So you guys should check it out. The choices that I've made, obviously I keep putting it back to the team because look how Ilona just said those things. Me too, someone that's fairly new and really struggling. Like I have a prideful thing. Sometimes I don't want to make myself look stupid or feel like I'm dumb. So the fact that she just put herself out there like that, it just made me understand like this is what the team is made for, and this is why I came. I've been telling people about videos for weeks. Some people have reached out to me, but I know we all get busy. That offer still stands out there. She threw it out there too, like, those agents need help too, and she brings something to the table. So, having that bit of confidence in yourself and knowing what you bring to the table, I think that with anybody that needs help, that struggles with public speaking, I'm someone that's been doing that for years. I have so many secrets. It really bothers me to see how many of you are struggling with that when you guys are great and fantastic when we're here in this classroom or when we're at events at the office. Like, so those little fears that you guys have, you guys just got to let them go because you guys are already great. And that's just going to make you guys even greater when you conquer that fear. And then the systems that I'm missing, I wouldn't say missing is what I'm not doing. Like she said, being afraid to say, hey, can we partner up? Can we do some type of referral? If I can do this, if I can help you out, do that and stuff like that. So putting myself out there like that a little bit more and working with the team and my mentor this past Friday, Donna did a great job of getting me back refocused and calming me down and letting me know that she's there for me. She spent 2 hours of her day helping me out. And if anybody that doesn't know Donna Chan, she's like always on the go. She's super busy. The fact that she carved 2 hours out of her time for me just like made me feel so much better. And then I got on there with my boy Eric, man, and we rocked that shit. And he made me feel so much comfortable. He even called me cute, by the way. But it's just reassuring that this team is just so good, and this is why I'm here. And I just need to start really focusing, coming to the office and more, partnering with people, and just talking and putting myself in the room. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that's helped me out so far, and the people in the chat rooms that get me going, and all your guys' comments. This team is fucking life changing and life saving. So thank you guys.
Love it, Otis. And a couple things you said, and we'll come right over to you. I think that's Eileen's hand up, but we'll come over to you in a second. But you said, being able to put pride aside, being able to put ego aside, and just be like, hey, I need a little bit of help. You want to partner on this deal? Or, hey, I just don't feel like I'm the best at this. Or Ernesto, can you help me? Hey, Sarah, I see that you're doing great things. You have kids, I have kids. Like, can we collaborate on this, man? So I love that. Throw the ego aside, put the pride aside, and do what's best for you and your business. I love that. So I think that's Eileen. Eileen, is that your hand up? You're in the car? Hi, how are you?
Good. Hearing everyone's experience makes me feel like I really joined the best team here. I came from Vanguard, and after Vanguard, I hopped onto Avenue 8, and today's my first day with Team Fast. And so I feel good vibes from everyone. I wanted to share a couple of resources that I use. The first is title companies. They can give you addresses of homeowners within 5 miles of your, say you have a listing or you have an open house. If you have a good relationship with a title company, they can give you addresses of homeowners within a 5-mile radius from that house for free. And, I can share what title company I'm working with. But anyways, so that's what they can do. They could do it for free. The second one that I use is Punk Post. It's punkpost.com. And what they are is they have these designers custom design a card for your clients, and they would do like maybe 3 different designs, and they're really beautiful. And it's kind of like you're being the art director. You tell them what to write on the card and what style, and they have a lot of samples in their website already. And I think it comes out really cheap. I forgot how much I paid, but I have a lot of credit still. Quote me if, I mean, I don't know if I'm remembering this right, but I think it was like only 9 cents a card. It's probably different now, but I remember it being cheap. It's called punkpost.com. Also, OpCity has been a game changer. I get a lot of buyers from OpCity. A lot of the buyers I get are not qualified, or they don't have lenders, but I'm getting better with pre-qualifying them and telling them to get pre-approved and connecting them with lenders so that I can work with them. I don't actually work with buyers until they're pre-approved. I don't drive them around or anything until they're pre-approved. And I basically just tell them that in this market, sellers really like when buyers can show proof that they can afford the home before we can visit. And that's what and a lot of them understand, and they try to work on getting pre-approved.
So Eileen, last question for you. What's the systems that is missing in your business right now?
Well, I have learned from some just asking from, just talking to top agents that they have a system, like step 1, step 2, like these steps that they do every time they meet with a client. And so I'm having to write my own. So whenever I meet with a buyer, it's kind of like a script now. It's like I have my steps, and I'm developing one for sellers.
Nice. And I have one too I could send to you for, like, as soon as you get a lead, like what is that flow? As soon as you get a buyer lead, what is that flow? As soon as you get a seller lead, that way you can, add yours obviously, but I'll send you one that way you can just kind of see if it helps, enhances what you're currently doing. So welcome Eileen officially to Team Fast. Thanks for choosing us and to follow or to support your journey. You guys, I want to share this with you before we head on, before we come full circle. The middle question: what choices have you made that will impact your business? And I want to tell you this, and I've said it a million times. When you make the choice to create video consistently, you will see your business change. I promise you. And this is not theory, right? I'm not going to say that this is theory and this is a hypothetical. When you choose to use business in your business, it will have a tremendous positive impact on the way that consumers see you, the way that they see your story, and the way that they connect with you. I wrote some notes here that you are the product. You are the content, you are the character, you are the star in your own movie. So if you're not spending that time just documenting, just sharing the good, the bad, the ugly, the fun, the bad times, the good times, the scripts, all the things that you guys are doing in this wonderful movie of yourself, you guys are missing out. I promise you. If you say, oh God, Elias, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it. And I'm like, oh my God, I did it. And now look at George. His business is just taken off. I highly, highly encourage you to make that just a part of your normal standard of operation. So let's do this. Let's come full circle. I want to hear from a couple people, takeaways. Kaleem, I'm going to go to you, my man. Key takeaway from today's group coaching session.
I think the biggest thing I took away from today is definitely partnering up. That's something that I've been looking forward to. Definitely, it's just partnering up with as many people as possible. It doesn't matter the commission split or anything. I'm just here for as much experience, as much knowledge and gems as possible, and using the resources on the team as well.
I love that. I love that, brother. Randy, let's hear from you, bro. Key takeaways from today's session.
I was going to say the same thing as Kaleem, is the partnering with experienced agents just to kind of get a different style, different perspective, how they do business. I think that's something that could add a lot of value for me, and I'm sure others. And then just, starting to utilize all the tools and resources that we have on this team.
Love it. I love it. I'm gonna go to somebody that has a similar look than you, Alex Lopez. Alex Lopez, key takeaways from today's session.
Key takeaways for me is the brain dump thing that you started with. That's pretty huge, to kind of just get out of my own way. So to go, I'm going to work on that today. Definitely going to be one of my things, see how the week goes by doing that action today. But yeah, for me, that everything out of the head, onto paper, and focusing.
Yes, yes, I absolutely love that. So you guys, if you were late to the call, literally brain dump, put all the stuff that is on your mind right now. And this side is your focus action items. And down here is delegate, like get it all out. And you guys will realize like, God, you have so much going on in your head. Give yourself some time to unpack that and then really compartmentalize your thoughts and how you're going to focus on these things moving forward throughout your week. Let's go to one other person. Let's go to Sakia. Sakia, key takeaways from today. She's like, wait a minute, he lies. Key takeaways from today's session. Let's hear from you.
I think the biggest thing would be to engage and use the tools, like you said, start with the videos and get more confidence and be consistent with the videos. So whatever it is, just buyer's consultations, just make videos and post it and see where the business go from there and just stop being shy.
I don't take you as that shy. I see you in person. I've never thought of you as shy, but there is a barrier sometimes with this. Yeah. So if there's anything we can do to support you, help you, shoot, I'll go in the office if you're there a day and I'll create videos with you. Okay. We can create some tandem videos. I can ask you questions. You can ask me questions. We can just have some fun on video. So whatever it is, whatever it takes, I'm here to support you.
Thank you.
All right. So Sarah, wrap it up. Let's take us home. Sarah, key takeaways from today's session.
Oh my goodness. Honestly, I'm just absorbing everything, being so new, like I'm obviously very overwhelmed. The reminder of the support has been, it's been great. It's exactly what I need. I think today, or at least this week, I'm mostly going to be consistent going on the meetings, putting the camera on, even if I really don't want to. I think it's important, especially everyone seeing my face. So yeah, just little pieces of just, working on, putting myself out there mostly. But the support has been very nice. I'm not the only one, so I'm grateful.
And you're not the only parent out there as well.
Yeah. I can't wait for him to go back to school. So summer school will be the next thing. Sorry,
Right,
he's screaming.
It's all good, Sarah. Thank you for contributing. You guys remember what Anna said, and I thought it was really, really powerful. Movement doesn't equal productivity, right? Just because you're busy, like, are you busy doing the things that are productive? And are you taking all the priorities that you have? Say you wrote down your brain dump. When you look at your priorities and the things that you know that could be moving the needle, but then you look at your calendar, you're like, damn, none of my priorities are actually on my calendar. And I'm just running like myself ragged. You have to really, really get fine-tuned with your time. I promise you, once you're disciplined with your time, everything will change. So you guys, great session, great dialogue, great thoughts. I love the different shares, you guys. So this is how we get better. I always believe in the collective wisdom of Team Fast, and how we grow together is how we contribute at the highest level. So I appreciate you guys more than you know. I'm looking forward to a very, very productive week. So see you guys. Is it Cinco de Mayo this week? Yeah, I'll see you guys for the Cinco de Mayo party in the office on Thursday. I think, yeah, Thursday. So let's have some fun with this week. Let's go out there and make some connections. Let's go out there and change some lives. Let's go out there and own our calendar this week. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for all your shares and all your contribution, and go out there and crush it. Peace.
Bye.